Your plan has succeeded as far as Arthur is concerned, but only for the moment. He's delicate. He hasn't Jeremiah's passion that nothing can daunt. Besides, you almost shattered his health for him by the buffet you gave him that night. It was a blow at my happiness as well. He fled to the castle to complain, and even if he comes back soon, he's gone now all the same. But Jeremiah stayed. When he's in service, he fears the slightest look of his master. But when he's not in service, there's nothing he's afraid of. He came and took me, forsaken by you, commanded by him, my old friend. I couldn't resist. I didn't unlock the school door. He smashed the window and lifted me out. We flew here. The landlord looks up to him. Nothing could be more welcome to the guests either than to have such a waiter. So we were taken on. He isn't living with me, but we are staying in the same room. In spite of everything, said Kay, I don't regret having driven the assistants from our service. If things stood as you say, and your faithfulness was only determined by the assistants being in the position of servants, then it was a good thing that it came to an end. The happiness of a married life spent with two beasts of prey who could only be kept under by the whip wouldn't have been very great. In that case, I'm even thankful to this family who have unintentionally had some part in separating us. They became silent and began to walk backwards and forwards, side by side, though neither this time could have told who had made the first move. Close beside him, Frieda seemed annoyed that Kay did not take her arm again. And so, everything seems in order, Kay went on. And we might as well say goodbye. And you go to your Jeremiah. He must have had this chill, it seems, ever since I chased him through the garden, and whom you've already left by himself too long in that case, and I to the empty school, or, seeing that there's no place for me there without you, anywhere else where they'll take me in. If I hesitate still in spite of this, it's because I have still a little doubt about what you've told me, and with good reason. I have a different impression of Jeremiah. So long as he was in service, he was always at your heels, and I don't believe that his position would have held him back permanently from making a serious attempt on you. But now that he considers that he is absolved from service, it's a different case. Forgive me if I have to explain myself in this way. Since you're no longer his master's fiancée, you're by no means such a temptation for him as you used to be. You may be the friend of his childhood, but I only got to know him really from a short talk tonight. In my opinion, he doesn't lay much weight on such sentimental considerations. I don't know why he should seem a passionate person in your eyes. His mind seems to me, on the contrary, to be particularly cold. He received from Galatea certain instructions relating to me. Instructions probably not very much in my favor. He exerted himself to carry them out with a certain passion for service. I'll admit, it's not so uncommon here. One of them was that he should wreck our relationship. Probably he tried to do it by several means. One of them was to tempt you by his evil, languishing glances. Another, here the landlady supported him, was to invent fables about my unfaithfulness. His attempt succeeded. Some memory or other of Clam that clung to him may have helped. He has lost his position, it is true, but probably just at the moment when he no longer needed it. Then he reaped the fruit of his labors and lifted you out through the school window. With that, his task was finished. And his passion for service having left him now, he'll feel bored. He would rather be in Arthur's shoes, who isn't really complaining up there at all, but earning praise and new commissions. But someone had to stay behind to follow the further developments of the affair. It's rather a burdensome task to him to have to look after you. Of love for you, he hasn't a trace. He frankly admitted it to me. As one of Clam's sweethearts, he of course respects you. And to insinuate himself into your bedroom and feel for himself for once a little Clam certainly gives him pleasure. But that is all. You yourself mean nothing to him now. His finding a place for you here is only a supplementary part of his main job. So as not to disquieten you, he has remained here himself too. But only for the time being. As long as he doesn't get any further news from the castle, and he's cooling his feelings towards you. How you slander him, said Frieda, striking her fists together. Slander, said Kay. No, I don't wish to slander him. But I may quite well, perhaps, be doing him an injustice. That is certainly possible. What I've said about him doesn't lie on the surface for anybody to see. And it may be looked at differently too. But slander could only have one object: to combat your love for him. If that were necessary, and if slander were the most fitting means, I wouldn't hesitate to slander him. Nobody could condemn me for it. His position puts him at such an advantage as compared with me that, thrown back solely on my own resources, I could even allow myself a little slander. would be a comparatively innocent, but in the last resort, a powerless means of defense. So put down your fists